Hi, welcome to month 2 of Rough Waters. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Laura.
So today we're going to be working on 3 blocks. Block A, which is this one here, block B, which is this one, and block C, which is this guy over here. So all 3 of these blocks will, unfinished size, be 8.5 inches. So to make block A, they're partial snowball blocks, and what you're going to do is you're going to cut 2 4.5-inch squares of the light blue,
That's this one there.
and 2 4.5-inch squares of the blue tan,
And that's this one.
and then you're going to cut 4 2.5-inch squares of the dark brown and of the cream. Draw a diagonal line on the wrong side of the batik 2.5-inch square of the dark brown and of the cream. I like using a mechanical pencil for a fine line. If you're using a marker with a thick tip, your accuracy can be a little off, so I recommend either a fabric pencil or a mechanical pencil. Now for the darker fabric,
We like using a light chalk pencil so that my white lines show up easier on the dark fabrics.
so you're going to position the 2.5-inch squares in the corners of the 4.5-inch squares, and just like the diagram, you're going to put it corner to corner in opposite corners. You'll stitch right on that line after it's pinned.
I'm
So
going
like,
to go ahead and pin this one.
so that one's pinned, this one's pinned. This one I've already got the stitching on, so you can see. Now what we like to do is push it over to make sure that my corner lines up really nicely.
Like do a little audition work.
Yeah, yes, because if it's not lining up the way I like, I'll seam rip that and do it again. And both of them look like they're going to go right to the corners quite nicely. If it was off, like if it was going sideways that way, I know either my square was not square or my seaming wasn't correct, my stitching. So after we tested it to make sure it looked good, then we'll cut 1/4 inch from that seam line. And then that's what the block looks like. Once you have your units completed, you can put all 4 of them together. You're going to be making a big X. Now, one thing I wanted to point out, we're pressing towards the dark, so the seams were pressed towards the dark brown, and then the seams were pressed towards the blue. So the next step is we're going to nest those seams. Oops, that one could get a little fixed there. We're going to nest those 2 seams,
I have pins.
pin, and we'll sew. And then we'll nest these 2 seams. And we'll sew this one. Once you have those sewn together, you're going to press the seams towards the dark, and then you'll nest those seams as well. Do that last seam, and you'll have your X block, and it will measure 8.5 inches.
Awesome.
Okay, ready for the next one.